Welcome to This Explainer. Today we are on a mission. We're going to cut right through the noise, the viral internet wellness trends, and that endless stream of online hacks to find the real evidence-based science behind resetting your nervous system. If you're looking for clarity on how to actually manage your body's response to stress, you are in exactly the right place.
I have to ask, have you been bombarded by these social media videos lately? You know the ones. They promise incredible instantaneous quick fixes for anxiety, exhaustion, and brain fog just by doing a vagus nerve reset. People are plunging their faces into ice water, buying super expensive gadgets, doing all sorts of elaborate exercises. It sounds like magic, right? But it leaves us wondering, how much of this is actually grounded in medical science, and how much is just internet hype? Well, that is exactly the problem we're going to solve today.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. 1. Meet your vagus nerve. 2. Medical implants versus internet hype. 3. The science of vagal tone. 4. Proven at-home techniques. And 5. Building your daily toolkit. We're looking at the real clinical science first, before we dive into the actionable tools.
Section 1. Meet your vagus nerve, the biological brake pedal. We live in this modern stress epidemic, where our bodies react to a pinging email or heavy traffic as if they were actual physical threats. But your body has a built-in mechanism designed to slow everything down.
Now, what's really interesting about this is that your biological brake pedal is the vagus nerve. It's actually the longest cranial nerve in your entire body. Think of it like a giant internal communication highway, connecting your brain to your heart, your lungs, and all the way down to your gut. In fact, the word vagus means wanderer in Latin, which makes perfect sense given how it wanders throughout your whole torso. Its absolute main job is to control your rest and digest functions, signaling to your organs that you are safe.
As we all know, when a threat appears, your sympathetic system kicks into high gear. Your heart races, muscles tense, breathing gets shallow. You are in fight or flight. But when the danger passes, your parasympathetic system is supposed to take over. Your heart rate slows, your breathing deepens, you rest and digest. The vagus nerve is the literal communication cable for that entire calming response.
Let's move to and see how this builds in Section 2. Medical implants versus internet hype, the clinical evolution. Because stimulating the vagus nerve isn't some new age wellness fad invented on social media. It has a rigorous, decades-long medical history that we really need to look at.
This timeline brilliantly illustrates exactly what I mean. Medical vagus nerve stimulation, or VNS, involves surgically implanting a pacemaker-like device that sends precise electrical pulses directly to the vagus nerve. The FDA approved this for medication-resistant epilepsy way back in 1997, then for treatment-resistant depression in 2005. More recently, we've seen approvals for cluster headaches in 2017 and even stroke rehabilitation in 2021. So we literally have decades of established clinical science proving that modulating this nerve absolutely alters brain chemistry.
But obviously, surgery isn't for everyday stress. Actually, scratch that. Nobody is getting a surgical implant for a stressful Tuesday at work. This is where the science has evolved. On one hand, we have those invasive surgical pulse generators attached to the cervical vagus nerve in the neck. But on the other, we have a major breakthrough, transcutaneous VNS, or TAV-VNS. Researchers realized that a superficial branch of the vagus nerve reaches the surface of your skin right at your outer ear. This means you can deliver non-invasive electrical stimulation through the ear to achieve similar neuromodulation without any surgery at all. It's this non-invasive science that really sparked the massive consumer interest we see today.
Section 3. The science of vagal tone. Recognizing the signs. You know, you don't necessarily need an electrical device to measure or improve how your vagus nerve functions. In the clinical world, we talk about something called vagal tone. This is simply a measure of how efficiently and quickly your body can return to a state of safety and calm after a stressful event has passed.
So, how do you know if your vagal tone is low? Well, if your nervous system struggles to hit that biological brake pedal, you might experience a few key symptoms. You might feel constantly on edge, like you're scanning the room for problems even when you're completely safe. You might notice a rapid resting heart rate or mysterious digestive issues like bloating and nausea. And remember, the brain and gut are directly connected by this nerve. You might have trouble falling asleep or find it incredibly hard to calm down hours after reading a stressful work email. If any of this sounds familiar, your vagal tone might just need some conditioning. So the crucial point is, you can actually improve your vagal tone yourself, which brings us to Section 4, proven at-home techniques, your pragmatic toolkit. We're going to build an actionable toolkit using biofeedback. That basically means using your body's own mechanics to send safety signals right up to your brain.
To cut through the internet noise, we've organized these techniques strictly by their level of clinical evidence based on our medical sources. We aren't looking at random hacks here, we're looking at the data. The strongest clinical evidence sits with controlled breathing and cold water exposure. Moderate evidence supports targeted ear massage and vocal chanting, while promising, developing evidence points to specific types of yoga and moderate exercise. Let's look at the absolute strongest ones first.
The absolute gold standard for natural vagus nerve stimulation is deep diaphragmatic breathing, specifically the 4-7-8 method. Here's exactly how it works. Step 1, you inhale quietly through your nose for 4 seconds. Step 2, you hold that breath for 7 seconds. Step 3, you exhale slowly through your mouth for 8 full seconds. Now, why does this work? It's not just relaxation. That prolonged exhale is a specific mechanical trigger. Making your exhale longer than your inhale physically stimulates the vagus nerve, signaling directly to your heart that you are entirely safe.
Next up in our strong evidence category is cold water face immersion, which is absolutely fantastic for immediate panic or high anxiety relief. If you splash cold water on your face or press a cold washcloth to your face for about 30 seconds, it triggers something called the mammalian diving reflex. This is a primitive biological response that instantly forces your heart rate to slow down to conserve oxygen. It rapidly activates the vagus nerve and literally pulls you out of a fight-or-flight spiral.
Moving to our moderate evidence tools, we have vocal vibrations. The vagus nerve connects directly to your vocal cords in the back of your throat. This means creating deep vibrations physically stimulates the nerve fibers. You can hum deeply from your chest, you can chant a low ohm sound, or you can just sing out loud in your car. And yes, as silly as it sounds, intentionally gargling water for 30 to 60 seconds is entirely backed by science. It might feel a bit ridiculous doing it over your bathroom sink, but you are directly massaging that nerve pathway.
Section 5. Building your daily toolkit. Long-term resilience. Because managing acute panic is great, but we really want to build lasting health. Think of it like going to the gym. You can't just do one bicep curl and expect to be strong forever, right? You have to condition the nerve consistently.
Here are the core lifestyle habits that continuously build your vagal tone over time. You might want to take a mental screenshot of this list. Moderate cardiovascular exercise, about 150 minutes a week, balances the autonomic nervous system. Consistent sleep hygiene prevents the sympathetic nervous system from getting stuck in overdrive. Yin yoga, specifically poses with spinal twists and forward folds, gently stimulates the nerve in the abdomen. And here's my personal favorite, genuine belly laughter and social connection. A deep, real belly laugh literally causes your diaphragm to rhythmically massage the vagus nerve, while positive social connection signals profound safety to your brain.
I really want to highlight this quote from clinical social worker Alyssa Kushner because it perfectly summarizes everything we've talked about today. She says, activating the vagus nerve isn't about quick fixes, but about signaling safety, calm, regulation, and connection to our brain and bodies. You absolutely don't need to do every single exercise we covered today. Consistency with just 1 or 2 techniques is far, far more effective than trying to relentlessly hack your biology overnight. So I want to leave you with this question to think about. Which technique will you use to tell your body it's safe today? Will you try the 4-7-8 breathing before your next meeting? Will you splash some cold water on your face the next time you feel overwhelmed? Or maybe you'll just put on your favorite comedy and have a good deep belly laugh. Pick just one evidence-backed tool from this explainer and try it right now. Your vagus nerve and your mind will thank you.